pleased that you stood up to that challenge from the Saints, especially after maybe a really tight first 3 quarters or so?
Yeah, we were pretty deliberate in their planning coming here, knew what was coming. A team that had a poor performance last week, for the want of a better term, and then and a team fighting for their life. And I thought they were really hard to play against tonight. Particularly the second quarter, their clearances got going. We lost a lot of territory that way, and I just kept saying to the guys, hang in there. We just got to hang in there and embrace the struggle and the wrestle of this, and we'll have our time. And it didn't come to late. You watched the game. It didn't come to late. We started to get scoreboard impact and late in the game. So yeah, I thought the Saints were certainly up for the fight tonight.
Were you rusty coming out of the bye?
I don't feel that. No, I think there's a lot of credit to the opposition. I felt like this. Parts of our game, I thought we took a little while to get going, but you look at all the numbers, it looks like a Collingwood-style game, a performance that we've put together for the first half of the season. I got to say, our group prepares as good as I've ever seen a group prepare. And so this week, as coaches, we came here tonight with great confidence. And just, it's like anything, you go to a Formula 1 and you qualify for a pole position, you still got to do the race. And so we're not kidding ourselves. You still got to come here and compete against a team that's trying to take things away from you. But we prepared so well as a collective, and there's no coincidence that you get a result.
What's the extent of McRae's injury?
He'll get scans tomorrow. Likelihood there'll be some form of a hamstring strain. We're thinking on the minor end. That's the doctor saying minor end, and that's Bo saying the minor end. He's done a pretty bad one last year, I think he did, or the year before. So there's an awareness there. So we'll just have to weigh what that looks like.
The Windhager-Daicos battle lived up to all expectations.
Yeah.
Beauty. What was your assessment of it?
Yeah, there's always going to be a lot of cameras on it, wasn't there? Like the spotlight was on it, and I just said to Nick when he came off for the first break, we don't want him to fight the battles. We'll fight him for him. Like, he didn't need to get caught up in the wrestle of that, and the free kick he gets, I'm probably talking about, and that's as a group, as a team, we want to look after him. We don't want him just sitting there feeling like he's fighting his own battle. So I thought tonight, as a collective, Nick's had 30 possessions, so you'd say that his performance was pretty impactful, and then the way we looked after Nick, I was more proud of than what we have in recent time.
How big was that early goal in the last quarter, Craig?
Yeah.
Seemed to be the point where all the pressure came off it for the Pies.
Nick's goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I look, can you see how much we enjoy when he does things well? Like, he means a lot to us. Like, and not just him, you see Tim kick a check-style goal, and we have energy for others, and this is an exciting part of our group right now, where our spirit's high, and so it should be. We've got a lot to be thankful for, and our fans turn up tonight, another 40,000 coming here. We've got a home game at Marvel. How cool is that? But they turn up and they support us, and we want to put a good show for them. So we want to drive the enthusiasm for our fans, and so Nick's a good example of that. His goal and Tim's goal. You see the celebration of his first goal and then the last one. Our spirits are high.
Is that as well as the team's ever handled a Nick Daicos tag, A, Nick Daicos' performance, and then B, like you said, the support around him?
Yeah, right now. I think it's not the first time Nick's been tagged and had 30.
Yeah.
That's real. But I just think we're sort of working through maturity around that. How do we do this better ourselves? But then Nick does an enormous amount of work on the opposition. He's sitting there watching tape, asking coaches, okay, where's he going to go? Will he go with me here? What's he done in recent time? You set yourself for that, and to Nick's credit, I think he gets a reward. But again, I repeat myself, we're happy how we supported him. I don't want to make that the whole story of the game, though. Yeah, like there's a lot of other parts of the game. That was one part of it.
Darcy Cameron, another part of it. A lot talked about, I guess, his intercepting ability, but his forward presence tonight was equally as damaging.
Yeah, he's had 5 shots on goal as a ruckman, which is marking the ball inside 50 is enormous. He's important to us behind the ball. He's been intercepting the ball, but tonight he went forward a bit more and challenged the Saints, who a part of our game coming in. We thought, playing the Saints in recent time, watching them, they do get numbers back to make it hard to score, and we had to sit in that. And second quarter in particular was a hard quarter to get some fluency in their ball movement. So, but we knew it was coming. But I thought with the way we handled that tonight, it's probably the best we'd done that with. 18 marks inside 50 is a representation of the way that we've moved the ball forward at times, fast and slow.
Was there also a directive in terms of your discipline behind the ball, knowing that the Saints want to get numbers back, not to get sucked up into that and maintain that defensive?
Yeah, and you know, our defence this year's really stacked up. You know, it's 74 points tonight. It's an okay result for us. But the way that I thought they changed their game. I thought we slowed them down really early. They're the number one mark play on team in the comp, and they're going at 17% in the first quarter, which means that we've really slowed them down. And so that's credit to our defence and Ruffy putting that plan together. And then you could see the game, they started to speed up. They'd mark and play on a bit more and kicked a bit faster to contest. So our layers were really critical to that, to answer your question. And Darcy Moore intercepting, started to really intercept the ball the second half a bit more than the first. So important part of the game.
Just on Darcy, there was him, Jamie, Bobby, really important players, and they're right down in terms of possessions around the middle of the game. Just how pleasing was it that you had there was an unevenness in some respects about tonight, but you still got the job done.
I've got to be honest here. I look at the possessions after the game. I look at our roles and responsibilities, and it's difficult for some positions in our team to get possessions. But I appreciate the question because it is real that the guys have ability, and we wanted to do it tonight. If you're not having impact, stay with us. Really stay in tune with our game, because it's a choice to be connected to the game. I dropped a mark. Just come back to us, and I haven't had a possession for a quarter. Stay here. We got you, mate. We got you. We'll work with you. Again, it's an important part of what we're trying to create with our spirit.
And just on that, the cameo from Jamie at the end of the third quarter was how
clutch
in the context of where the game was at.
That was huge. I feel like if you watch the game back, which I'll do later with the red wine and enjoy the commentary, but it's definitely a moment. They'll come and big time, and Jamie gets a set shot, tackle, all that within 60 seconds. It just gave us energy, gave the crowd energy, and put a margin at three-quarter time that was critical to the end result, and it just clutch. His set shot goal kicking right now is just absolutely brilliant.
You talked about your purposefulness going forward before. The role of Pat Lipinski in that, it felt like you really missed him on King's birthday.
Yeah, he's we've just shifted his role in the last few weeks from wing to sort of a bit more forward based, and he's impacting the scoreboard. There's 2 goals again tonight, 2 goals against the Hawks prior to getting concussed in a half. No, he's critically important to us. Again, it comes back to do your job and then add your flavour to it. Like, we've got some quality players that can add another layer to it. So we're pleased with Paddy that gets to express himself forward of the ball a bit and back the scoreboard. Really important.
It feels like you talk about him every week, but given his performance earlier today, how loud is Charlie West not on the coach's
Yeah.
getting?
Did you see the kick after siren? Yeah, Charlie West kicked 6 goals in the VFL, and I must admit his magnet was really close this week. I didn't tell him, but it was really close. Now it's going to be really hard to keep him out. I'm wrapped for him and a 19-year-old kid playing VFL and kicking the goal off the siren. We'll celebrate that first thing Monday morning when we get the team together. He looks like it's going to be hard to leave out next week.
And I guess Billy Frampton throughout this period has been a staple of the back line where there's been some personnel sort of in and outs. It feels like you're going to get all of that back next week. How important has he been in the first half of the season?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because when we watch the tape back, we look at the system. Billy's important to play here when the other guys are supporting him, and then we got team goals that we kick and we got team goals that we stop. And our back line, and Billy's been a terrific part of it. If anything, I think Bill's gone away from being I just win my one-on-ones to like, hey, I'm playing a bit more system here. And if you get a chance, watch that because he's playing better than he's ever played, based on playing more for us than just trying to win more one-on-ones. And I thought tonight he had moments where he could have maybe influenced the air a bit more than what he did prior in the game, but as the game wore on, his value as a system-based player is as important as ever. Thanks, guys.